Guess that you just know when another soul is broken. It's always kind of funny how you find out how they're coping. So he asked me how I'm coping, and I asked him if he noticed. I said, listen boy, I'm focused. I said, me I drink pine and ginger, and my myth and wine pan a thing, I'm gonna play that. Me I drink pine and ginger, and my myth and wine pan a thing, I'm gonna play that. And mouth the rum and not the sorrow. And mouth you drink away him sorrow. Guess I'm not care about tomorrow. I guess I'm not care about tomorrow. Me I drink pine and ginger, and my myth and wine pan a thing, I'm gonna play that. And I drink pine and ginger.
It's your girl Joa Derri for all my singing fans. But hey y'all, it's Joa and I'm here to share a little story about my diagnosis of an autoimmune disease. It's something that I've kept private. Of course my loved ones, family, friends, all of them know, but it's something that I have kind of kept personal. With me being an aspiring singer, I feel like this is actually something that I should share and be real and transparent about, and kind of let myself be vulnerable in hopes that it will inspire and motivate someone who's going through the same thing, whether it be a disease or disability, ailment, whatever it may be. Hope that this kind of pushes someone to strive for their dreams and reach their full potential and not let whatever it is hold them back. I wanted to share something that initially made me feel very weak, but over time has made me realize how powerful I am and how God has prepared me to be my best self through this journey, because God got me. God got us. He would not put us through anything that we cannot endure. And this is my testimony and I would like to share with you all. So, in December of 2011, I was 18, and of course this is the holidays. I was on Christmas break, and at this particular time my best friend was living with me and had just had her son. I can't remember the exact day. I woke up and had a pain, like a soreness behind my left eye, and it was only when I would make like movements of the eyeball or like would move my head or neck and motions to like kind of stretch it. And of course I told my mom about it, and she was like, oh, it's probably because you're not getting enough rest, with the baby in your room, and I'm sure it will subside after a few days. Just take ibuprofen for the pain, and let's see what happens. So that's what I did. And then like the next day and then the day after that, like I still felt it, and the pain hadn't lessened. And of course, like it was like a soreness, but it was just really annoying because you move your eyes and your head a lot. So I was like, okay, mommy, this is not getting any better. Is there something we could do? And she was like, okay, I'll make an appointment with your pediatrician and see, what's going on. And so I did that. And at this point, I guess it was maybe like into the second week, and I was still feeling it. And a pediatrician, it was so adorable to see, like, I guess she cared a lot about me individually, so she got really sensitive talking about what it could possibly be. And she basically like indicated that it's a sign of multiple sclerosis, but she referred us to an ophthalmologist and was like, before I even try to diagnose you, go see what's going on like with her eye to make sure it's not that, because I could be wrong. And so it's like once I heard that, I'm like, wow, okay, this is serious. And so at this point I started to have blurry vision in my left eye. So the pain kind of like subsided. It was still there, but now I had like a haziness, a blurriness over my left eye. And I've always had like 20/20 perfect vision in my mind. So with that, I'm like, what, this is crazy. So anyway, I went to my ophthalmologist, did all the tests, to see the strength of your vision. And basically she told us that my retina behind my eye, left eye, was inflamed. She shared the same thing, that it's a sign of MS, but she referred us to a neurologist and basically said it should subside, who knows when, but have the neurologist give you more details. And she basically said there's no medication that I can give to you for this. So on to the next doctor. Went to the neurologist, had an MRI done. That was the most overwhelming experience because I have anxiety and I was not expecting to like be triggered, but all these noises, having to stay in a closed space, and I'm not even claustrophobic, but just I guess all the elements of noise and having to stay closed in. I had to like force myself to relax and close my eyes and not think about it. Got the results back. My neurologist started like listing off all these percentages of like the lesions that were showing on my images, and basically said there's a 95% chance that you have multiple sclerosis. He was like, I don't specialize in diagnosing patients your age because it's not as likely, because multiple sclerosis onset usually doesn't happen until like mid to late 20s and early 30s for both men and women. So I guess I was a rare case, and he recommended a pediatric neurologist in Alabama, and he further explained the lesions. So basically, I don't have tumors on my brain, but basically with multiple sclerosis, your myelin sheath, which transports your nerves and neurons through your body to make you do all that you do with your body, move, all that, is losing its coat, and it's inflamed and slowly deteriorating. And basically, that's what the lesions are. Spots that show that the myelin sheath is damaged and not full. It's not a full coat. He said right now there aren't many, but over time, as you get older, you'll begin to see more, depending on just your diet, your overall health, how you take care of yourself, and if you're consistent with your medication. So with that news, I just remember feeling like so scared, but I was like, let's get, the final diagnosis. Went to Alabama. Dr. Ness, sweetest lady ever, did another MRI, and she basically confirmed, like, yes, you have multiple sclerosis. This doesn't mean this is the end of the world. It just means that you'll have to be on medication for the rest of your life. She was like, you can still have children if that's something that you're interested in when you get older. And she said there's different types of medication that you can take. It's all up to you based on your preference. She recommended the ones that allowed pregnancy. So that was like another big thing. Like if you're interested in having children, which I definitely am, she recommended a couple. And I decided to go with Copaxone, which was an injection, a daily injection. So maybe wondering why I chose that and not pills. But I'm terrified of swallowing pills. I've gotten better as I've gotten older. I'm such a big wimp. I'm not scared of needles, and I just did not want to have to deal with swallowing a big pill and like me freaking out because I'm scared my throat's going to close up and all of that. So I went with that. And I just remember like the whole experience was just so daunting and overwhelming, and also humbling, because my whole life, like, my mom has always told me like I was not a sickly child. She said I was a baby. I did get like a few ear infections here and there, but after that, like, my health was just A1. I very rarely got colds. I can count on one hand the amount of times I've like thrown up or vomited. I was just a very healthy child. And so to have someone diagnose you with an autoimmune disease, it's just like, whoa. Like, I thought of myself as like superhuman, like, I don't get sick, and now you're telling me I have autoimmune disease. God, why? So I had to like kind of humble myself and be like, this is not too good to be true. This is real life, and this is what it is, and you have to accept it. And I knew God wouldn't put me in any situation that I couldn't handle, but me being 18, having a clean bill of health, and then going to this, and it doesn't necessarily mean I'm gonna be sick all the time, but that's just how everything was processing in my mind. And so I went from not having to take any type of medications on a day-to-day to doing a daily injection of Copaxone. And so basically, this was my auto injector. And what I would have to do is on the fatty parts of my hip, each hip, thigh, arm, and stomach, I would inject the Copaxone, put the needle in here, and stick it in whichever part I want, the part I was going with for the day, and push that button, and it would just auto inject me. And of course it would kind of bubble up and get inflamed, but and like sting a little bit, but that was it. Like, and it was over with. And you know, I would clip the needle to dispose of it properly, and then I would track it in my daily planner. And this started September 2012, and here you can see how I would basically write where I specifically would insert the needle, and like, yeah, I would write the pain level. So this particular part was my right arm, and it was excruciating, and then like log the date, and that's basically what I have to do every day. That was the point where our insurance skyrocketed because my mom forgot to make a payment, and we were basically out of luck. And we talked to my neurologist about it. He wasn't helpful. I stopped taking the medication, stopped seeing neurologists, because my mom just felt like he wasn't really there for me. It wasn't very like informative on like what we could do to like bring the price back down, and just was free from disease for 4 years. And because of that, like, I literally was in denial. I was specifically diagnosed with the relapsing remitting multiple sclerosis, which means you can go months, days, years without any type of episode or attack. That's basically what happened. And so because of it, it's like when I did experience another episode, it wasn't until 4 years later in 2015. I'm like, what's going on with me? Like, it's MS. And it's like, oh, come back to reality. Oh, you do have an autoimmune disease. You have to accept it. And so with my second episode, I basically had a neuropathic itch, and it started in my legs. And basically it's like a sensation of itching all over your body, but it's internal. So it's like you'll scratch, but it's not satisfying anything. The sensation is not going away. And at the particular time, I was starting my new job after graduating from college, and my parents were out of town. And I just remember going to sleep and just feeling this itch, and I'm like scratching. So after a while, like, it's just very nerve-wracking and frustrating. Like, why isn't this going away? But at the same time, I'm scratching and getting red and inflamed. And like, by this point, my skin is hurting. And so I'm crying, call my parents, and they're like, I don't know what this is. I'm like, could this be MS? And they're like, oh, it probably is. So they're doing their research. I'm trying to do my research while I'm losing my mind. And I literally had to go start my first day of my second job that next day. And like, they literally had no idea. I was sitting there like with inflamed feet because like the inflammation was just everywhere. Like it wouldn't stop, and like no one had any idea at work. Like, 'cause I didn't complain. I didn't want them to think that I, couldn't work. And so like my feet were swollen in my boots. I had to take my shoes off because like they had no room. So it got to the point where my feet were falling asleep. It slowly subsided. And then my mom was like, okay, after work, she was like, you need to go to urgent care. Because at this time I didn't have a pediatrician, primary care physician. I think all I had was a gynecologist, and that was it. And she's not going to be able to do much with this. So I went to urgent care, and I noticed that it got worse at night. So the itching came back. So I'm sitting there like itching and like wanting to cry again, because it may not sound that bad, but it's the worst feeling ever to not be able to like scratch and itch, and like it's just never ending. And then on top of that, like you're just getting warm and red and inflamed. It's just very random. And I basically had to like tell the doctor at urgent care what to do, because he's like, well, do you have, he's trying to get more information. I'm like, no, I don't have a neurologist. No, I don't have a primary care physician. He was like, well, I don't really know if I can give you this or this because it wasn't prescribed to you. So I basically had to tell him like, I need a steroid. So he was like, okay. And he, he did his research, and I'm like, why am I telling you this? So he gave me a steroid for the itching, and then he gave me Benadryl to like bring down inflammation. Let me tell you, it saved my life. Like as soon as I took it, like, everything went away, and it was the best feeling ever. But he was like, you need to find a new neurologist. You need to find one now. He was like, this is real. This is your life. He was like, multiple sclerosis gets worse as you get older, You don't want to be like those individuals who literally did not have the choice, and whose diagnosis came at a late age where, your body's not as strong. So you need to do something about this. So my mom's ex-coworker recommended someone. She also has multiple sclerosis. And I started seeing him, and he was like listing out all the new medications, because mind you, it's been years since, my initial diagnosis, and so things have changed. More research has been done, and I didn't like any of the new medications. I was scared of the side effects. He was like, "You sure you want to go back to what you used to? You want to inject yourself?" And I'm like, "Yes, please. I'd rather that than a pill." I'm strange, I know. I ended up choosing a drug called Tecfidera. It's a pill. I received it, but never took it because, like I said, I was terrified of the side effects, which included like nausea. I hate being nauseated. And it's all because like I said, I've just been so healthy. I don't really experience these things often, so I'm like terrified of them. Another side effect was flushing. So your face will turn red and you feel like a hot flash. I don't want to experience that every day. And he was like, just because these are the side effects doesn't mean it'll happen to you. And usually people who do experience them say they only last for a month, and then after that, like, you're good. Like, you take the medicine and you just go about your day. But my stubborn self decided to not do that. And I ended up having another episode, I believe it was in March of the next year, so 2016. And went back to my neurologist. He and his nurse assistant were basically like, "Look, you're going to make yourself worse off by not doing what you're supposed to do. You see all these, elderly people in there, like, they didn't have this choice, and now, they're on the verge of dying because their pain is just so bad. Like, what they're experiencing is much worse than what you are, because it came at such a late age when your body's not as flexible and strong to handle these things. Is that how you want to end up? Like, don't do this to yourself. You have to take this medication, or you're going to keep having attacks and episodes more frequently." And so I'm like, okay, I need to take this seriously. I need to take my medication. And guess what? I still do not take my medication. I don't know what's wrong with me. Please don't be mad at me. This is just the way I am. I'm stubborn. I don't know why I'm like this. It's like the older I've gotten, the more fearful I've gotten of medication, because I'm just all about all natural, herbal, holistic, healthy medications. And I don't know what's in this, and I don't know how it's going to affect my body long term, and I just want things to be all natural. So call me what you want. It is what it is. At some point, maybe I'll start taking proper medication for this disease, but for now, I've chosen to be unmedicated, and it's also why I've adopted a healthier lifestyle in terms of my diet. So I'm now a vegan, following a plant-based diet. I have also incorporated a better self-care regimen for my day-to-day, which includes yoga, meditation, daily affirmations, and time for more centering myself to find my inner peace and to get closer to channeling my spirituality, so I can have a closer relationship with God. And I'm also trying to get others to join me in this journey that I've slowly working myself into, just for my health and to lessen the amount of episodes that I experience annually. And of course, my neurologist would probably be, super mad at me, but I haven't seen him in months. So, I'm sure once the next episode comes, because it will come, I'm going to keep experiencing these episodes and attacks at random times in my life. I won't know when, but I've prayed about it constantly. And so I'm no longer in denial and have fully accepted my diagnosis. I am a multiple sclerosis patient and survivor. And as I go forward in life, I will do my best to be my best self, regardless of how I'm feeling. So if I'm having a good day, if I'm going through an episode, I will do my best to get up and pray about it and work through it, while also, understanding that at times I may have to rest. I may have to take a day off to get through it. but it's something that I know is now going to be a part of my life. And with that, I'm taking my own route and taking care of myself, and I believe in it, and I'm doing my best to stick to it. I'm not perfect. I've had my days where I slip up and, don't always eat, the healthier choice, or the choice is better for my body. But that's life. We're not always super disciplined. God knows it. He forgives me. But I do my best, and I want to stick to that. And it has also made me face my fears in terms of things that used to hold me back from hobbies that I'm very passionate about, which includes singing. And all at the same time of me going through this, lifestyle change, my mom, my super strong mother, was going through cancer for the second time, and seeing her go to her chemotherapy sessions and then literally get up the next day to go run with her friends or go to a fitness class or go run a race. I'm like, what excuse do I have? I used to be terrified of singing, and just seeing my mom's resilience and strength and just enthusiasm about life made me realize that I have no excuse. I have no reason to be fearful. I need to learn to be comfortable with being uncomfortable. And since January 2017, I've pursued a singing career because I love singing. I've realized that God has given me this gift. Why am I not sharing it with others if it's something that I truly love to do and have constantly heard from others, and I know deep down that I am good at? And with that, I've just gone at it head first, and I'm going to keep going until my name has an impact on others who have just as big of aspirations and dreams. And I'm hoping that my story, my testimony, is an inspiration and a motivational force for anyone to pursue something that they truly want to do in life, and something that they're passionate about and talented in, and they know is something that they were destined to do by His holy name. And just go out there and reach for the stars. It sounds cliche, but that's what I want you all to do. I hope this story, this video, does that for you. I have many other talents, but I wanted to start with singing in hopes that with some type of platform I'm able to incorporate all the other things that I want to do. And I won't go into too much detail about it. You all will see over time. This is my manifestation video because manifestation is powerful. I believe in speaking everything into existence, positive vibes only. But I believe that wholeheartedly, and this will be my proof when I'm doing all the things that I've set out to do, planned out to do, written down. When I look at it years from now, I'll come back to this video and be like, wow, I spoke it, and look at it. It's real. It's out there. It's in the ambiance. It's my life now. But forget about me. This is for you all. I hope that you all take this and turn it into something positive for yourself, because we're all in this together. We are one unified unit, and I believe in you all just as much as I believe in myself. And don't forget that God believes in you all, and you can achieve anything that you put your mind to. Whatever it is, whatever situation you're going through, good or bad, always remain grateful, thankful, humble, and believe in yourself. You have the ability, and whatever ailment, disability, sickness, troubling predicament that you may be struggling through, it's not the end of the world. You can get through it, and you can achieve greatness. And that's what I hope that this video exudes to you all, and I hope it resonates with you. But thank you all for who have supported me and shared kind words with me about just anything that I posted. And thank you to my friends and my family for genuinely being the best supporters of life and uplifting me and keeping me grounded and helping me get to this point where I genuinely believe in myself and have confidence in myself. And I used to be so fearful, and now like I've grown to be comfortable with the fear and like push through it. And that's really all we have to do in life, is just to push through, take that next step, learn to be comfortable with the unknown, because what we experience in life each day isn't promised, and if we don't take that first step, we'll never take that step. And that was me, and I'm just glad that I finally got to a point where nothing can hold me back but myself, but I don't let that happen. I hope you all incorporate, you know, what I've incorporated to my life into your life, and see the good, the benefits that it'll bring. And yeah, so that's all I have. I hope you all enjoyed this video. Of course, please comment, rate, and subscribe, and let me know in the comments if you would like to hear more inspirational videos or story time type videos or what have you. I really want to know, because I'm trying to go full force with this YouTube thing, not just singing videos, but other things that I'm really into, showing you all my assets, my attributes, because I want you all to see me. I don't want to hide behind a Instagram wall or social media wall. Like, I want to be real. Like, I want you all to follow me on this journey, because it means a lot to me, and I want people to be a part of it, because I don't, you know, I'm not just doing this for me, I'm doing this for others. Like, this is not about me. Like I said, I love to sing, but I'd rather share a gift that God has given me with others than like make it all about myself. And go out there and get it, because y'all some bad A-B words, okay? And that's that. Oh, and shout out to Pretty Dope Dia on Instagram, who made these adorable earrings and gave them to me at my first paid gig at the Apache Cafe. Shout out to them. And thank you. Peace and love.